Welcome to Balito TV and our Good Morning Show, a North Coast show that runs Monday to Friday between 6 and 7 a.m. We have experienced heavy rainfall overnight, and should you be heading out onto the roads this morning, you really need to be very careful because it's wet and slippery. So please travel safely and make sure that your headlights are on and that you keep safe on the traveling distance. My morning co-anchor Prathisha Singh takes up a different spot this morning, and she's stepping in to bring you our daily inspiration. And there is no better person because she's always happy for no reason at all, and we could do with a little bit of attitude. In studio today, we have Marilyn Beuster, who shares her expertise on intermittent and prolonged fasting, her coaching, as well as her keto products. I can't wait to talk to her about that. Coming up next, I'm excited to speak to Cobus Steyl from Forensic Ballistic Services, who has 35 years as a forensic ballistic expert. He's in studio and ready to rumble. Next up, we have Lewin, joining us to chat about the beautiful Elaleni estate, as well as some exciting news about an off-the-grid estate. Definitely going to be staying there very soon. The People's Accountant, Lynnette Pretorius from Austral Accounting, is in for her weekly slot, and we chat to her about business funding today. So later on, we'll have Heili Uys Deon to update us on what's happening on the weather and subfront, and it's over to Gavin Ferguson to close out with a music video. Remember, it is all who they are, what they do, and you know what, we're going to be chatting to them 100%. And without further ado, hello, Prathisha.
Hi, Sai. It's awesome to be here this morning with you on the other side of things.
Yeah, I was going to actually ask you, how does it feel to be on the hot seat?
So, you know, it's difficult to break habits, right? So I'm going to actually start off with a question.
Okay.
So I have a question for you. So, and the viewers out there. So who would like to wake up a bit happier tomorrow morning? I know I would, right?
Okay, yeah.
You? I'm sure everybody.
Yeah,
everybody wants to wake up a bit happier tomorrow morning. So let's get our energies aligned and let's get started. And you're always very vibrant. So
of course.
I'm sure you're going to go with me.
Yeah.
So let's get some thumbs. We're going to do the 4 thumbs, okay?
Okay.
So we're going to be tapping right here on our cheekbones. And this is just to get our energies aligned for the morning. And we're all going to feel good. And I can see everybody around in the studio doing it as well. So that's epic. And then we're going to find our collarbones. If us mums out there can still find them.
Yeah, is it
bottom here?
Oh, yeah, it is.
So we're going to be thumping over there. And then our thymus gland, which I usually tell my 6-year-old, it's the point that makes
oh, yeah.
Right? So that's your thymus gland. That's for your immune system.
Yeah.
So you're doing that. And then your bra strap points, or your inner rib cage if you don't wear a bra.
Yeah.
Right.
Lucky somebody out there.
Right, so it's there. So are we feeling all aligned and good?
Well, I wake up aligned and good every day, but you know what, this really actually helped as well.
So let's talk about the elusive happiness, right? So there's good news and there's bad news.
Yeah.
So let's give the bad news first. So 1 in 4 people battle with depression. Okay, that's the stats.
Yeah.
The good news is that science has cracked the code to happiness. So we now know what makes us tick, how to up that happiness in our lives. Now, when we talk about happiness, and everybody mentions happy for no reason, that doesn't mean we go around going, yay, I'm happy, when bad things are happening around us.
True.
Okay. So happy for no reason is actually an inner state of peace and well-being, despite or independent of what's going on around you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to explain that. So I went through my life, as I'm sure everybody does, and you do, on a seesaw. When things are great, we're up here.
Yeah.
We feel great, the energy is vibrant, everything is amazing. And you're an amazing person, right? I'm sure you're the best mom when you're feeling on top of the world.
I know.
You're the best mom, you're the best spouse, you're the best presenter when you're feeling great.
Yeah.
Things don't go your way. How do you feel? You tell me. How do you feel?
You feel like the rain is actually physically raining in your face.
Exactly. Going splat, splat, splat,
splash, splash, yeah.
So I lived my life that way until everywhere I looked made me unhappy. And something had to change.
Yeah.
So that's how I learned how to live and take responsibility for your own happiness. And when I started to see huge shifts in my life, that's why I'm here. And that's why I want to share all of that stuff with everybody. So let's talk about what actually influences your happiness. And I like to call this the syndrome of I'll be happy when. So when will you be happy when, Sai? For me, it's when you lose 10 kgs, when you earn a certain amount of money. You'll be happy when. So what's it for you?
Money and staying in the estate.
In that Elaleni estate,
and
right?
Yes, Elaleni and the Range Rover. I've got a
You've got a list, right?
Yes.
And all of that stuff's great. So when we look at the happiness continuum, so you get happy for when you're just unhappy and you're just feeling low and horrible. You get happy for bad reason, and that's when people rely on alcohol, sex, drug addiction. That's bad reason. Then you get happy for good reason, which I'm a fan of, and that's that Land Rover that you want and that estate that you want, and that's epic. And then you get happy for no reason, which is the one I'm talking about. Now let's just differentiate those two. So happy for good reason is great. I'm happy for great reason. I'm sitting on this end of the couch and sharing what I know with everyone, and that's great reason. The trouble happens when stuff gets taken away, because how many people are there on the earth? Can you control all of those people?
Oh, no.
How many different situations and circumstances can there be? Can we control any of it?
No.
No. So when you're relying on just external situations and circumstances, you're actually in a bit of a pickle. Because it can't go away. Now, I want you to be like Sai, and I want you to bring your happiness to the party. So wherever you go, you take that happiness and that inner state of peace and well-being where you go. So you don't rely on the party to make you happy. You're already going there with your vibe.
And I am the party.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So everybody needs to be your own party. And can you imagine what strain and stress that would take away from all your relationships? That expectation would be gone. I mean, if you are the party, what do you need from the party?
Exactly.
So that's one of the benefits of living this way, of feeling your own happiness and stuff. So let's have a look at the happiness set point. The happiness set point is basically the happiness level that we all are at, no matter what happens to you. And that explains why when people win the lottery, they are thrilled for like when they win it, right? They're going everywhere. They're buying the cars, they're buying the houses, they're doing whatever. 6 months later, they return to their happiness, whatever that set point is. That's your like your thermostat. It's the same if you're going through grief or a serious situation that makes you feel really bad. After 6 months to a year, you return to your happiness set point. So let's talk about what influences that, because that's basically your level. Now, you'll be surprised to know 50% is your genes, and there's still good news to that, so we'll hang 10. Only 10% is that Land Rover, and that car, and that house. Only 10%, hey? Actually influences your happiness. The other 40% are your habits. Now let's talk habits. So you sitting cross-legged like that. Can you cross the other way for me?
Okay, let's try it. Let's see. Yes.
How does it feel?
Different.
Different, right? A bit awkward?
Yeah.
Not so great. That's how it is when we change our habits. But 90% of ourselves can be influenced by our habits. And that's what we're going to talk about. Happiness habits to increase that set point so that no matter what happens, you're at a good playing field. You're coming with an awesome foundation, no matter what happens to you, right? So that's what we talk about with the happiness set point and happiness habits. Now, I know Claudia, I think, spoke about it this week, that everything is about vibration and stuff. So is happiness. And there are basically two main energies in the world, and that's the energy of expansion and contraction. So I've got another game for everybody to play. I want you to curl yourself up into a little ball. So you're going to contract yourself as much as you can. And so I want you to really contract yourself and say, I am happy.
Okay, I am happy, but I cannot go any
feel
further. Yes, I do.
When you contract yourself and you say, I am happy, you just feel silly. Nobody can feel happy
That's
in
true,
that
that's
contracted
true.
energy, right? Come on, I tricked you, Sai. Right, now let's do it the other way. I want you to spread your arms as wide as you can and expand yourself. Now I want you to say, I am depressed. Does that make sense? I am depressed. Can you feel depressed doing that?
No.
No, because your energy is expanded. So now when your energy is contracted, you are feeling low, down, depressed, all that negative stuff. When your energy is expanded, you're feeling happy and joyful and free. So that's one of the happiness habits that I want the viewers and you to take away today. Well, there's two things actually. And just one thing I want to say before I go is that we want to process our negative emotion and stuff in a good way, and that foundation of happy for no reason has a place for that. So you want to still deal with the negative stuff, but you want to have such a strong foundation of well-being that you want to shift it quickly. So no matter what happens to you, you come back to that happiness set point. So my 2 giveaways today that I want you to do, because I'm a firm believer of awareness is transformation.
Yeah.
You become aware first. So as you go along throughout the day, I want you to ask yourself, am I choosing happiness? In every moment. So when somebody irritates you on the road, are you choosing happiness? Think about it. Am I choosing happiness? The other takeaway I want you to be aware of is you'll be surprised. If I asked a person, what expands you? Do you know what expands you, Sai? Well, you know, because I've spoken to you this morning. You know what expands you. You know what drives you, what makes you feel amazing. Lots of people don't know what makes them, what expands them, and what contracts them. So I want you to start becoming aware throughout the day. And if something expands you, and yes, I know we have jobs, and we have bills to pay, and children to take care of, but let's look at what expands us, and let's do a bit more of it. And what contracts you, just try your best and do less of it.
Well, sweetheart, thank you very much for coming through.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I did.
I enjoyed being on this end of the couch, I must say. Yeah.
It's really been interesting. You know what, viewers at home, all you need to do is choose happy, 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 happy. That's what we are here on GMNC. And remember, my name is Sixolile Mboza. We'll be here until 7 o'clock. And after the break, we're going to be speaking to Marilyn Beuster, who is a wellness coach, and she has so much to talk about. I'm so excited, but let's do it after the break.
Network Collections was established in 2016 with a management team that has over 40 years experience in recovery. With processes that are unique, it is no secret that Network Collections outperforms our competitors. We have a national footprint, and due to our contingency basis, that means no risk to you. You need to ask the question, why have you not contacted us already? Using our national footprint combined with TT1 as well as TT3 transactions on the DebiCheck platform, we achieve consistent payments within 60 days from handover. All handovers are electronic and no paperwork is required. Our relationship-driven approach allows for a reduced cost solution that rehabilitates and activates one of your business' biggest assets, your debtors book. With more than 500 agents countrywide, the methodology of personal contact with debtors rather than phoning or forcing approach, it is no wonder our success rate is above the rest. Our drive is to take your debtors book and turn your loss into a profit. We are affiliated with MFSA, ADRA and the Council for Debt Collectors. With our national footprint, no debtors book is too big or too small. Allow us to activate your debtors book and turn your loss into a profit.
Welcome back to GMNC. Just want to send a holla to Kathy from Zinger Africa, Santos Khan, and Tony Superman, who are actually catching us live on our Facebook feed. Well, hello there. And hello to you, Marilyn. How are you?
Morning, sir. I'm well. So vibrant.
You know, I am like this every morning, and I don't even drink coffee, imagine.
Yo.
100%. So tell us more about yourself for those people who don't know who you are.
So I come from, I'm a mom with 3 boys, married, and I come from a travel background. I've got a travel agency. still existent. And during the last 2 years, I've birthed 2 beautiful products, or a wellness business where I take people through my experience and my journey I went through. And it's a wellness program where I teach you how to eat whole foods. I teach you how to do intermittent fasting to bring down those glucose and insulin levels and inflammation. And then I teach you how to do healing fast, which is the longer fast. So I teach you this little paradigm of a lifestyle instead of a little diet. We've probably been dieting all our lives. So I take you through a lifestyle journey to implement for the rest of your life. And then throughout that, I birth some food products as well.
Well, if at the end I'm going to look like you with 3 kids and married, oh wow, hook me up.
Sorry, so sweet.
So tell us about your coaching, what goes into it, or what, because in a lot of, when it comes to wellness, it's the body and the mind together.
Absolutely. So that's the thing. It's a 3-month journey. It's not a consult where I tell Sai, listen, this is what we're going to do, because you'll not, but you'll walk away there and tap out and say, because we're just human. Everything that's a little bit harder, we backtrack. So I take you through a journey, I breathe you, and then I incorporate what you eat, whole foods. It's not so much just a keto diet, but just low carb, whole foods, read your ingredients, not just your nutritional values, but actually mindfully, intentionally see what you eat, that ingredients. And then after a week or 2, I take you through where I teach you how to do intermittent fasting, which is that little bit of what I think most viewers know, what 16 hours and 18 hours are in a day, to do a bit of resting and digesting, which is that fasting, and then incorporating a feeding window. So we don't eat a little bit and then we rest a bit in, traditional way of eating. So we rest and digest our digestive tract, and then we eat. That's intermittent fasting. And then a little bit in week 2 and week 3, I take you through what we call healing fast. And this is where, like for myself that lost 65 kgs, I had to tap into what we call these healing fasts, because being 120 kgs and where I am now, I didn't want to have loose skin. So my healing of these fasts was not to have loose skin. So that's where you tap into. You can't do it with intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is to bring your glucose and insulin levels down to break inflammation, because that's where all illnesses starts from. Besides our gut health, and that's another story on its own. But the healing fast is when you go through your 1, 2, 3 days, up to 14 days for cancer, immune disorder individuals. But it's a journey, Sire. I mean, I can't tell you, listen, Sire, we're going to fast now for 36 hours, because you haven't walked the journey of just good foods. You haven't processed the journey of, let me plan for my foods. What is good food? So a lot of people say, Marilyn, just teach me how to fast, do this. But it's a little bit of a process, because that is what a lifestyle is learning, being intentional, plan, and being present daily.
Wow, you really are an expert, because you don't just go, let's do it.
Let's go. It's not about that.
Mm.
And my ultimate success of this journey is that Sai checks in with me every day. Because us as humans, we can go through 2 meals and now we've been so good. I'm so good. and it's not that. It's being present every day. So you check in with me. You check in with your weight. You tell me what you've eaten. And we learn through experiences every day. So by the end of the 3-month journey, you can literally cut your wings. And it's not like you do a challenge and you ask, what's next? You actually go into the journey as, I don't know what I'm doing, but you walk out of your journey saying, I've got this.
I like that.
And at the end of the journey, so is ultimately I've lost my weight, but I've kept it off for 3 years. So that's the trick. We can all lose, and I've got clients that say, oh, Marilyn, I've lost 15, I've lost 20, but gained it all back. And this is the trick of having a whole foods lifestyle, fasting and intermittent, prolonged fasting. So when you've lost all your weight, or you're healing what you need to heal from a health point of view, is to keep it up and say, oh, okay, I know I'd fast for 3 days. I came back from a holiday, I'm not feeling well. I would like to do a seasonal 3-day fast, so all of that.
But I want to talk about your products.
Oh, I know.
I've been like, yeah, you know, I want to talk about your products. Tell us more about your product, your yogurt.
That's you know what? Throughout this birth, I can almost say these two businesses was birthed through COVID with the opportunity at the time because I didn't have a travel agency. But with my wellness, I just realized there was really some gaps in the market, which I was desperate for. So the birth of bone broth, which is also another topic on its own, why we have to have that in our daily lives. Sure. I've got bone broth in the market, which is very important to have on an empty stomach, or when you've got leaky gut, digestive issues, or you just want to break your fast, or I'm not hungry, but you're having a gut health food. So my whole thing about all the yogurts, which I'll get to now, is gut food. It's probiotic food, because ultimately the food that we eat, 80% besides genetics and all of that, is what heals us. Simple. There's no two ways about it. Yes, there's exercise and all of that, but the food we eat is so important. So the food I've developed was the bone broth, 5-in-1 spinach, which is, you know, we have one veggie and we think we eat a lot of food. You know, oh, I've got broccoli on my plate.
I'm done.
So I've developed a product where it's 5 veggies in one, all the green veggies cooked in bone broth, and you can cut it open, warm it up, and you've got a nutritional meal. It's all about quick and easy. And then I've got my ice cream, sugar-free ice cream, because sugar addiction I had, and I still have a sweet tooth. So I've developed some ice cream, and then I've got my latest baby, and I've gone into the dairy, same, gut health. All illnesses start from here.
I like that, because no one actually thinks of that.
No,
right?
and our immunity comes, everyone, you know, in this time says, look after your immune system, but what is that? It's your gut health. It's building those probiotics, building those little enzymes. You can't just eat broccoli and cauliflower and build those enzymes, because then you don't look after the others and you starve them off. So, and dairy generally is a very big inflammatory food, because, you know, they don't always honor how we should eat dairy. And this is where the birth of kefir yogurt, not kefir milk, kefir yogurt started.
Yeah, because I know that you actually help a lot of people that are lactose intolerant. I want us to quickly talk about that. Also talk about where people can find it, because you're running out of time. It's such a great interview. I'm loving it. So can you just quickly tell us about that?
So the kefir yogurt it's the grains that you feed the milk from, and you develop that, but it's lactose, it's carb-free and lactose-free, because the bacteria eats that, it's needed. But then you are left with all the calcium and the enzymes. It's got over 57 probiotics in it, where yogurt has 7 strains. So eating that and on an empty stomach or just during the day is absolutely key, and it's such a whole food. So it's two flavors, cinnamon and chai, for the extra protein, and then you get the plain one, which the kids, and that's what I'm saying, Sai is on a lifestyle, but you can still feed that to your family and your husband and stuff like that, and smoothies, muesli bowl, eat it, and it's available at Spa and Homegrown at Lifestyle, Super Spa Lifestyle, Homegrown in the market, and then it's in Hillcrest, Quick Spa in Umhlanga.
And then your socials, so if anyone wants to get into what?
Marilyn Beuster Wellness on Facebook, and then marilynbeuster.online. Please go and find me there. And
you heard it, folks. Please go and find her on Facebook. She's
and
there.
you know, it's not everyone maybe wants to follow a journey straight away, but they just want to watch. And it's the birth of a seed, so you can find so much information on the Facebook and online.
Well, Marilyn, thank you for coming through, man. It's been an honor. I feel like we had so much to talk about.
We do.
But we had a little bit of time. But you know what? Definitely we'll try to get you back so we can talk more about your products, because I like this whole gut situation.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. So thank you very much for coming through. After the ad break, we're going to be speaking to Cobus Steyl. I'm very, very excited. He is a forensic ballistic expert. He's going to be talking to us about his services and what he offers after this.
I'm Monet.
I'm Mandy,
I'm Devin.
and we are
Belito TV.
We are a streaming channel showcasing content-rich programming that appeals to a wide audience.
Belito TV officially launched on the 1st of February 2021 and has already attracted over 500,000 viewers worldwide.
Viewers are able to select their preferred device and way in which to watch Belito TV, either live on our Facebook page, our website, YouTube channel, or by downloading our app free from the Play Store.
Best of all, if you've missed one of our shows, catch up at your own convenience by visiting our catch-up platform on our website and our app.
Belito TV offers a variety of advertising from as little as 1,000 Rand. So the misconception that advertising through this medium is out of reach for most businesses is totally incorrect.
Get in touch today by emailing hello@belito.tv or send your name and details to our WhatsApp line on 066 232 1385 and we will give you a call.
Dear Mom, you're my best friend, okay? You're the funniest person I've met in the whole world. I love it when we play together, and my favorite is when we play makeup. You sometimes make me angry, so, but that's okay. Nobody's perfect. When I'm older, I want to be pretty like you. Happy birthday, Mom.
Welcome back to GMNC, and I just wanted to say a hello to Lianka Dukran, who's actually watching us from Facebook. Girl, call your friends to watch more. And as promised, we have Cobus Steyl from Forensic Ballistic Services. Hello.
Good morning.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
So you remember I was very excited, I was talking to you off air, that I'm very excited to have you here because I watch a lot of TV, you know, all these investigation kind of movies, and you're going to be answering a lot of questions that I've had, you know, while watching.
I get the drift of that.
100%. So for anyone who doesn't know who you are, and what is a forensic ballistic expert?
Geez, I don't know, we got an hour, maybe half an hour, but let me just go quick. I'm a forensic examiner, so mostly what I do ballistics, is my main category, and then I do bloodstain evidence and I do shoe prints. So forensic examiner is somebody that actually goes to a crime scene, for instance, and he examines certain aspects. Now I specialize in ballistics, which just means like gunshots. Anything that deals with a firearm.
Okay.
From the time you pull the trigger, the hammer moves forward, the explosion inside the chamber of the firearm, the bullet leaves the barrel, that trajectory of that bullet, until the time actually it impacts the target. Now that target could be human, could be anything that actually impacted, yes. the effect of that projectile, I studied that at part 2. Now that's where the post-mortem section comes in. So I had to attend post-mortems, recover bullets or pieces of bullets, and then I analyze that later on back at my microscope to see if the firearm is actually the firearm, the author of that certain bullet and cartridge cases. Now that's only just the ballistic section side of it.
Okay.
But there's also much more. There's tool marks, for instance. Any surface that get in contact with a hard surface will leave a mark on each other. So that means if you have a scuba driver instance and you break open a window, you'll leave a mark behind.
Oh, yes.
So you can analyze that mark to see if it was that instrument that actually made that mark. So that's just the ballistic section side of it. So then you got now your footprint part, which is one of the overlooked sciences in the world. You know, all criminals have to walk on and walk off a crime scene.
Of course.
But we don't spend much time finding their shoe prints. So that's the kind of one of the aspects that stays behind the forensics. And these days technology, we can lift shoe prints from basically any material.
I've seen.
Yes, you can. I mean, we always just think soil. You know, the first thing comes to your mind is in a muddy print or something like it. But I mean, you can lift it off a tile floor. You can lift it off basically any surface. You can lift a shoe print these days.
Wow.
And then you can analyze it back to the laboratory again. You just compare the marks left by the shoe on the soft surface. Again, we go back to the beginning stage where any hard surface will leave a mark on a soft surface, which is equal to the same size and shape of that hard surface. So now if a shoe print step into the mud, it leaves a print behind equal to that size and shape of that shoe print, for instance. Now all the small defects in that print is what we analyze to say, that is the shoe that have made that mark, for instance.
Wow. So you've been in the industry for 35 glorious years.
Yes.
Sure. That must be hardcore. So for anyone who's interested to do what you do, like any of these youngsters who want to go into, forensic, but they don't know how to start and what to go, what subjects maybe they can study, and how can they get to your level?
Well, firstly, you have to start with a degree these days to enter into a laboratory. So once you do any bachelor degree of science degree, after that you'll join a laboratory. Now that's the kind of the problem situation at this stage, because you need the experience. Once you have the degree, you have the first stepping stone. But now you need to join a laboratory where you can build up experience. That experience is very important. Where you physically handle firearms, where you physically can shoot them and see the effect of them, do tests with them. So that becomes very difficult. And at South Africa at this stage, the forensic laboratory only takes a small amount of people in a year. So there's a huge demand because of CSI, which you just told me what you watch every day. There's a huge demand. Suddenly it created, when I started off, we were 12 people in South Africa doing forensic ballistic examination. Nowadays, one laboratory alone is over 200-300 people. And the demand is so much more now because suddenly we have the CSI movies and everybody wants to be a CSI expert. And everything looks so easy on the internet. You just pull the screens and you make a match. In real life, it doesn't work like that. There's a lot of hours go into it. There's a lot of time go into it. And it takes years for you to develop a sense when you get to a crime scene, what to look for, what not to do. Sometimes not just what to look for, but what not to do in a crime scene. Not to destroy something else while you're actually trying to lift something. That's a process, yes.
So in your business, so what services do you offer?
I started firstly, I do just at 3 main divisions. So I deal mostly with advocates and attorneys. So maybe once you shoot your husband, you need to give me a call through your attorney, and then I start examining the matter for the person now. So I go to the crime scene after the state have done their work. I go to the crime scene and I re-examine the crime scene. I'm looking for clues that stay behind, which is not found or not interpreted correctly. Then once I'm finished with that, I draft a report. I'm taking it to your attorney. Your attorney then tells me, listen, Cobus, thank you for your report, but it really harms us. You can go home. And then I go home. Or I said, listen, we need your services, because that is not what the states are saying. The states are saying, she was standing in that angle when she shot, and she did that thing, and she stepped there, and I said, well, this is not what the evidence shows. Evidence says she was at that position where she says she was. She did fire in that angle, and it was that angle what actually killed the deceased. So I examined it for the private, independent advocates and attorneys in the country.
I see.
But you know, after I said that, I do a lot of work for the state too.
Of course.
So once you get to the civil matters where there's a lot more money involved, the states sometimes say, listen, I need an expert with a bit more years of experience to come and examine this matter. And then I examine it for the state. So then I'm acting for the state of South Africa, basically, and examine the cases for them.
So I hear that you actually worked a lot of cases that you've actually assisted in, 3 major cases that I was actually reading about. But I also heard that you do a lot of work with the youngsters, like for abroad and stuff. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, yeah, I do. You know, the older you're getting, the more, I don't know what happens, but you just go more into training.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of training into the Africa continent itself. So I do Kenya, Uganda, Zambia, Malawi, right down to Namibia. I train the officers, which is processing crime scenes, but wildlife crime scenes. Because there's quite a understanding that most people understand the normal crime scene where somebody gets killed in South Africa. But once you deal with a wildlife case, which is also a crime scene, it's a much larger case to deal with because somebody needs to change your whole mindset. Because now you need to look for different clues, and the officers normally founding these crime scenes are not trained. So we have a huge drive over the last 6 years. We're training people up in different parts of the country, and we train them actually how to process and manage a forensic crime scene, because we don't make a difference in our world between a wildlife crime scene and a normal crime scene. We just adapted the normal process into a wildlife crime scene process.
So if anyone wants to use your services, where can they get a hold of you? What are your socials?
Well, you know, I normally use on your webpage, which is out there, forensicballistics.co.za. I got out there, or just search Cobus Steyl, you'll find that one there too. And then obviously on that, all my details are there to give me a call.
And then for your officers?
Officers, I work out of Salt Rock, strangely enough, as I'm here for the, correct, yeah. So for the last 25 years, I'm down in Salt Rock. But I do the whole country. I got another office in Pretoria. So it just be in that case that sometimes the traveling is getting to you. So I got a partner down in Pretoria. He's doing most of the Gauteng side, and I'm doing the KwaZulu-Natal side. However, you know, in forensics, we also have a system of a peer review system. I can't just write a report and send it out. I write my report and then I send it away for technical review. So when a review comes back and say, I agree technically what you're saying here, maybe change these aspects, and that we call a review process. Only then do I send my statement out to the court.
Wow, well, I won't lie to you, it was an honor for me to have you here, because you know, me watching all that CSI is like, I wanted to actually find out if is it real or isn't real, you know, because some things like you're like, nah, this is too easy, this is too easy, but you've actually told us, you know, what goes into it in depth, and I just wanted to say thank you for coming through to the show, and good luck with what you're doing, and I love your work.
Thank you very much. I was enjoying being here.
100%. And there you have it, folks. You know what? We have our own people that we have here in South Africa who are doing the most in battling crime. And after the break, we're going to be speaking to Barry Lewin, who is going to hook me up at Elaleni Coastal Estate. And I'm going to be having a nice place there soon. But after the break.
The importance of certified, compliant and good working fire equipment can mean the difference between your insurance claim being successful or rejected. All insurance companies insist on fire equipment compliance before business or buildings can be insured. Here we have BrokerSure leading the way by setting an example to others. Well-maintained fire equipment is the key to an insurance claim in the event of fire damage. HASPAC being SABS and SAQCC accredited and certified are well positioned to serve, maintain and provide new quality fire equipment such as fire extinguishers, hose reels and hydrants. Fire extinguishers, hose reels and hydrants require annual service and maintenance by law to be compliant. HASPAC offer these services through highly qualified technicians and a modern state-of-the-art workshop. HASPAC take the time and effort to remind their valued clients on an annual basis, taking the responsibility and worry away from the client through their up-to-date software systems. HASPAC offer quick, and easy replacement services to ensure you, your business are protected and abiding to the laws. Remember, commercial locations have strict laws governing them with regards to fire safety regulations. Call us. Make sure you and your business are compliant.
Welcome back, folks, and as promised, we have Barry from Elaleni Coastal Forest Estate, and as mentioned before, he's going to be hooking me up. Well, hello, Barry.
How's it going? Really good to be here.
Fantastic. So tell us about Elaleni, but tell us more about yourself first, and how did you actually manage to work for Elaleni?
Sure. I've been out on the North Coast here for a couple of years, and obviously the North Coast has a lot to offer.
Yeah.
We've got an amazing climate year-round,
Wow.
although we have had a little bit of rain at the early spring overnight. We've got a warm climate, warm ocean currents, and I think the demand of being out on the North Coast is evident with also a gated estate demand. Guys want to be in a secure environment, and the property market has grown over the last year. The company that I work for, North Global Group, have actually been developing in Ballito and surrounds for the last 20 years plus, and the idea for us with Elaleni was driven out of actually getting hold of the piece of land that we're developing now. The Elaleni Coastal Forest Estate has got a 17.5 hectare forest on the site, which is the last remaining swamp fig forest of its kind in the area.
Wow.
The shining light to the estate is obviously the amount of vegetation that we've got on the estate, and that's really driven a process of preservation of a lot of the trees and vegetation. We've got an amazing amount of bird life. One of the rare trees in the forest is called a raffia palm that brings a palm nut vulture all the way from Zululand to eat some of the nutty fruits. And the underpinning sort of ethos of the estate is around preservation, keeping that beautiful forest intact for our kids and our grandkids. At the same time, having a modern day architectural design around that has been influenced out that forest. We've got beautiful paved roads. Our entrance has got a water feature that you drive over water into the estate, washing your worries away on the way home. Some beautiful bonsai trees, and the experience of just coming into Elaleni is something unique. It's something different, and a really new modern take on estate style living on the North Coast.
And I was looking at your social media, and I know there are pictures that are going through. I was like, I do see myself actually living here. The vegetation is beautiful, the architecture is amazing, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So tell us about how many rooms is it? You know, is it 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms? Like, just talk about the whole scenario.
So the exciting process of Elaleni over the last 3 years has been amazing. So and we got hold of the site in 2017, put services in. The first people started to build at Elaleni in 2018. And I would call Elaleni Coastal Forest Estate quite a mature estate now. We've had 45 homes finished on the estate with a couple more under construction. And that is a process of guys coming to buy land from us and building their own homes in the estate. And then we've had 3 sectional titled developments deliver as well within the estate, which cater for apartment style living, simplexes, little garden units. So there really is something for everyone at Elaleni.
I like that.
That something can fit your budget and your property requirements in terms of the style home that you are looking for. So there's a lot of different options. So we've got something called forestry apartments, we've got something called lush, which have performed very well in the property market. And then the latest of that, we've got Elaleni Gardens, which is a single-story offering that has been delivered to the market recently that's doing very well as well. So really have something for everyone. So yeah, there's a large amount of different options on the estate.
I saw that you have a very nice swimming pool. I don't know whether it's like, I don't know, it looks so amazing when looking at it. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, everything is so green, everything is so perfect. And one thing I also liked about it is that when I looked at it, it looked like something that even a family can actually be able to, you know, it's not for those people, those single people, you know, or, you know, the couple without the kids, you know. I could see that a lot of, you know, kids could actually play around there, like some fishing activities and stuff like that.
So from a lifestyle perspective,
Yeah.
obviously Elaleni offers a lot, not just within your own home, but the estate as a whole. We've got 750 meters worth of elevated deck boardwalk that runs through the forest. It
Yeah.
gets you into nature,
Yes.
gets you into the beautiful bird life and vegetation in the forest.
Yes.
We have completed one of the clubhouses on the estate called the Forest Clubhouse, which has got a beautiful yoga studio in it, as well as an entertainment area. We're about to break ground on the second clubhouse within the estate, which is the leisure centre, which will be done during the course of next year. And the kicker, one of the really exciting projects, is the state's also been able to secure a house on the beach at Salt Rock Main Beach, which we are in the process of converting into a beach clubhouse for the estate.
Okay.
You can't ignore being on an amazing coastline here in KZN and not have a facility orientated around the beach lifestyle that we live.
Of course.
So external from the estate, that's also a really nice facility that's going to be delivered to the state very soon as well. So really exciting times with a couple of those facilities, and I think the underpinning values of the estate has always been around community. And one of the highlights for us over the last sort of year or so is there's a lot of product that's actually delivered and people moving into the estate. We've got 350 residents so far, which is quite mature. And those residents get to use and connect on the estate as a community, which has been really cool to see develop. It's not just open land that you can come and build your house. There's people living, interacting, and living together in a really cool community.
But let's be honest, Barry, when people talk estate, you know, people go, you know, the prices, you know, it's very scary. But I'm looking at where it is and everything. I'm sure you guys have affordability situations where you can cater for everybody who wants to actually stay in an estate.
Of course, I think the dynamic around sustainability in our market is quite key. So yes, there are some different products within the estate that are price point driven, as well as obviously your big sort of more expansive properties. We also have plans on our border in certain sections of the state to do a more affordable option as a developer with North Global Group, which is exciting. And there's a lot of product to come in the market coming. So one of the new projects that we've got is Elaleni Lifestyle Estate.
Okay.
The idea of that whole concept is we've got 350 residents living on the estate. We now need to look after the people.
Of course.
So what we're doing through Elaleni Lifestyle Estate is what we call an edible landscape. It's a very unique concept where we're going to be planting edible plants in the middle of the roads and the servitudes and the common space of the estate, which include macadamia nut trees, coffee, tea tree, lemons, limes, nuts, citrus, and we're going to be able to feed our community through the landscaping through the estate. It's a very, very special project to us, and it's underpinned with the community that we've already got and looking after them. We're currently building roads and infrastructure through that Elaleni Lifestyle Estate, and one of the sections has been planted already. We're going to be doing some transfers to our homeowners in that section of Elaleni in the next couple of months, and a very exciting project going forward with that edible landscape. And we're going to be looking after people in the way we interact with the land around us, which is very, very exciting.
Well, it is, and I love that. Before we let you go, I just wanted to find out if people want to know about the estate, you know, where can they go on their socials?
That's very good. We've obviously hit spring, so the proof's in the pudding. We'd have you actually come visit.
Of course.
We're going to try and have you for a tour.
Yes, I'm coming through.
So we've got obviously sales guys on site 7 days a week. You can book an appointment with COVID. We like people to book. You can pop into our website, elaleni.co.za. We also are on all the social platforms of Facebook and Instagram at Elaleni Coastal Forest Estate and Elaleni Lifestyle Estate. Please book an appointment through one of those channels, and check out elaleni.co.za for some amazing imagery of the estate as well.
Yeah,
You're going to check out a little bit about what we are.
100%. Well, thank you very much, Barry. And viewers at home, you know that we are going to be we've put through some pictures for you to see so that you can be like me and be like, but thank you very much for coming through. We'll definitely be coming for a visit and take a lot of pictures. And after the break, we're going to be speaking to one of my favorite people, Lynnette from Austral Accounting. We're going to be talking everything that has to do with businesses here on GMNC after this.
Dear Mom, you're my best friend, okay? You're the funniest person I've met in the whole world. But you're so bad at hiding. You do make the best brownies though. I love it when we go riding together. When I'm older, I want to be pretty like you. Happy birthday, Mom.
Hi Bellito, I'm Tanya. I'm the lady from So It Seems, Benina in Bellito. You can find us in Richard Park, right across from the Hirsch. The new shop, it's 3 times bigger than the old shop. We have lots more fabric, a lot more haberdashery items. If you can't sew, I will teach you how to sew. I have an additional teacher that helps us sew, and we have a fabulous space upstairs. Looking for a Benina machine or a Bennett? I will sort you out with that one. In this little area, we do everything. We service the sewing machine, we service the overlocker. We fix it up for you. Within a week, you'll have it back. While you go through the pattern books, we have a coffee shop in-house called Buttonless Coffee. You can have a coffee or a snack to eat while you do your pattern searching, fabric searching, or sewing upstairs with us. See you soon!
Welcome back. And as promised, I've got my girl, Lynnette from Austral Accounting. Girl, how are you?
I'm well, and you?
Good, good. I love you. You know this, and I love your hair as well.
You can't go wrong with red.
No, you can never. So we're going to be talking about business funding, but as we were speaking off air, I want us to talk about what you need to have to get that funding, because a lot of people just go, oh yeah, you know, I want that funding, but they don't have the proper paperwork. So let's start from there.
Yeah, I think it's important to know that your business has to be ready for funding. It's the same as when you're selling your business or wanting to get out of your business. You need to prepare your business for sale. You need to prepare your business for funding.
Yeah.
So getting all your paperwork in order, making sure that all your compliances are done and you've got traceable records and proof of what you're putting on the table is very important before we actually then enter into the funding arena.
Yeah, that's true.
The problem that I find is that a lot of people get into their business and things are a little bit all over the show, and then they need money like in yesterday, and then it's going back, trying to get everything sorted out, giving a delay, which then puts the project behind. You know, so it's got some big ramifications if you are on tight deadlines and you need to move forward. So it's very important, as you point out, that all your paperwork should be up to date. You should be able to put the documents on the table when you go knocking on doors.
So when it comes to business funding, how do people how can they get a business funding?
Yeah, so I suppose it depends on how mature your business is, how complex your business is, but there's various things that entrepreneurs can look at.
Yeah.
So the first one is an old one that's been around for quite a while, and that's business partners. They've been around for about 40 years, and they fund mature businesses, funding from 500,000, I think, to 50 million.
Wow.
They do property finance and all kinds of specialized deals. So that is very helpful if you able to get funding from business partners. They also have a mentor section to their business.
It makes sense. It can only, because I can't just give you money, and you know what, as much as you might be a growing business, but I can't just give you like 50 million off the bat. You need to have the discipline with having that much responsibility, because obviously it's a shift, you know. From
so that mentorship then comes from business partners side, so that you have that backup in place to help you navigate whatever you're busy with. So I mean, that's one avenue. And then another one that I hope people have heard about is a website called FinFind. So it's finfind.co.za.
Okay.
It's South African developed and pitched for our South African entrepreneurs. So what it does is you register your profile or your business, and the website will then match you to certain finance houses, if I can put it that way.
Wow.
So if you're an FNB banker and you're looking for, let's say, finance to purchase an office, you'll create your profile. They'll pick up where it's best suited and send you in the right direction with the correct contact details, who to phone, who to email, how to go about finding that finance that you're looking for. So finfind.co.za. So that's a great one as well. Then there's the smaller, I want to say, lenders in the market. And one of those is Bridgement. So it's www.bridgement.co.za. And they specialize in 3 kinds of lending. So it's term loans, it's debtors financing, and lines of credit. The trick with Bridgement is that your turnover has to be more than 1.8 million rand.
Okay.
And your business must be established for 1 year or more. A very simple process. You go onto their website. It takes, I think, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Like literally, it's that quick. You can link your QuickBooks, your Xero, and all of those wonderful things that I love into your application, and they feed that information in so that their algorithms can do the work, and you have a reply within 24 hours.
Well,
yeah, so there's lots of things. People just don't know where to go look.
True, because what made me interested in this conversation for today is because I know a lot of people that are actually moving out of the whole 9 to 5 and looking into becoming their own bosses and having their own businesses. And, you know, people get that feeling of, you know, I want to do it, but I need funding. Where do I go? how do I do it? And that's why I was so excited about having you here today, because to just kind of help people out to actually navigate through to where they need to go.
Yeah, but people, I suppose, entrepreneurs get so bogged down in their daily grind.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm the first one to tell you I do my daily grind. That you're not looking up and around. So, I mean, the information out there is amazing. Just go scratch around on, you know, CEDA's website, the Small Enterprise Development Agency's website. There's plenty of information on how to help you get a business plan for free.
No,
they
I
do
know.
these things for entrepreneurs, but we don't go look and we don't ask.
Well, thank you very much, Lynnette, for coming through. It's always a pleasure talking to you, and it's always informative as per usual, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Well, that's Lynnette for us, guys, talking about business funding, but after the break, we're going to be having Heili and Deon Postman with our weather and surf report after this.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your weather for today, brought to you by Belito Gas and Prime. Today we'll have heavy showers in the morning, followed by a couple of showers in the afternoon. En sulke weer maak my sommer die man. Dankie tog vir lekker koffie en donuts 5:00 in die oggend, want hier worry ons nie, ons klap 'n toon en skrut af in die dag. Today we have a high of 16 degrees and a low of 13 degrees. The real feel will be 14 degrees and the real feel shade 14 degrees as well. We have a southerly wind at 19 kilometers per hour and wind gusts at 30 kilometers per hour. Also 78% chance of showers. The sunrise will be at 6:04 a.m. and the sunset at 5:44 p.m. Next up will be your surf report, brought to you by Tina Skryfbehoeftes and Deon Bosman from Victory Surf. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good morning, Belito, and welcome to a windy and wet Tuesday morning. It's going to blow southwesterly all day today and lots of rain around. So not the greatest conditions to go surfing, also very lumpy and bumpy out there from that big southwesterly. It's going to be pretty good at most of the protected beaches. I think the bog will have 1 or 2 waves as the wind drops later this afternoon, but like I said, lots and lots of rain today. The ocean's going to be a little bit more unsettled, so be careful out there. It's not a perfect day to go surfing, but if you're desperate, there definitely will be some waves on the incoming tide later this afternoon. Enjoy your day, and let's wait for the rain to subside maybe, and look forward to tomorrow. Have a great day.
Well, it's that time of the show where I have to say my goodbyes. It's always so sad, but just wanted to thank everybody that came through, to actually from our guests to our sponsors. Thank you to Zinga Africa for always making me look gorgeous every morning, and do catch us every Monday to Friday from 6 to 7 a.m. And if you miss out, do not forget that you can catch up on YouTube. And coming up next is a music video by Gavin Ferguson. Do enjoy it, and we'll definitely be seeing you around.
Think I'm such a slayer, never been a player, but I'm coming right. Turning all the lights off, waiting for the right time. Well, guess it's tonight. Oh no, and guilt is not a fact. A nuclear reactor, playing the night. In the morning when we wake up, pretend it's not a breakup, but she's such a sight. Oh no, and I got to tell my girlfriend there's gonna be a whirlwind. inside